Jacob is Dom's brother.
Been a long time, Dom. Little brother.
Le damos la bienvenida a una de las más grandes figuras en el mundo del entretenimiento. No hay otra forma de ponerle el 25 de junio. Fast and the Furious F9. Señoras y señores, John Cena está con nosotros en el programa. John, it's great to talk to you. And I want to say thank you for taking the time because you are one of the busiest men in show business. How do you make time for everything you do? And I bet it was easy to say you were going to make time for a project like this, right?
That's a very safe assumption. When I was given an invite to the Fast family, it was an astounding yes, and I put everything on hold to take advantage of this opportunity. It goes without saying that all of us are busy. All of us. We all have things we need to do throughout the day. So I don't know. I appreciate the comments, but I don't group me into folks that are unlike everybody else. We're all busy, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But WWE, you're on the road. You're acting so much. This Fast and the Furious franchise, 10 films in all, 9 and 1 spinoff. Has anything about the fandom surprised you, John? Has anything just stood out to you?
You know, it's amazing the correlation between the Fast fans around the world and WWE fans. It really is. And I think that's because the Fast franchise has been around for 2 decades. So it's this long-standing, continuous narrative of these characters that we've known to love that spans a long period of time, and they have ultra-dedicated fans around the world who are waiting for bated breath with the next installment of the narrative. It's exactly like WWE. It's amazing.
When you were first presented with the idea and the script, once you learned what your character was going to be like, what was the one thing you were most excited about?
The importance and gravity of the character. Not only was I invited into this franchise that's already globally successful, that's a gift in itself, but I get to bear the last name Toretto. That's like my first match being the main event of WrestleMania.
John, we all associate you with kind of being this action star, but you've got some real comedic chops. I mean, you were hilarious in Trainwreck. You were hilarious in Blockers. I'm a dad, so that definitely I identified there. What do you enjoy more? What do you expect, or what do you hope people get out of you when they see that side of you?
Oh, I just hope they're entertained. You know, as you know, we can all selfishly hope that, man, I hope you understand me more as a human being, or I hope I break down a typecast or perception. That's all just selfish wins. I hope when I do something that is entertaining, that people are entertained. And I don't care what they take away from it after that. That's up to them, and I do respect that space. I just hope they're entertained.
For a new member, or when there's a new member in the Fast family like yourself, the first day you show up to set, is there any kind of ritual, or are there any pranks played on the newbies like you were for this movie?
So no pranks, but I think the ritual is a great one, and it's very much like the acclimation period in the WWE. You know, you have people in the WWE that give their life to that brand every single day. So when someone new walks in, you want to make sure they're all right. I think it's very similar probably to professional sports teams in that regard. When you get a new player on the team, you want to know that they're going to contribute and not take away. And the Fast family is no different. You have these people who have dedicated their 20 years to this legacy body of work. They want to make sure that you're going to contribute instead of take away. So there is that. I think the tradition is sizing people's intentions up and making sure it's, you know, we're betting on the right person. And then after that, just like a great sports team, you are welcomed into the team and you are a part of the family.
John, I can't help but to compare it, and I know it's a cheap comparison. You probably heard it a million times, but Dwayne Johnson, you're well on your way to be a superstar in both fronts, the wrestling world and what is the action movie world. What's going to be harder, to take down The Rock in the wrestling world, or to take him down when it comes to the big screen?
First of all, by no means would I say that that's a cheap comparison. It is an honor and a privilege to be in the same conversation as Dwayne Johnson because he's in his own universe. I know firsthand, Dwayne asks you for everything that you have and more when you're in there in the WWE ring with him. If I have the luxury of having an opportunity to perform with him, I would only imagine that because of his trajectory of success, it's the same thing. So to quote The Rock, I guess he always demands that you bring it.
Yes, sir. That's a great quote. Me and Herc already had a chance to see the movie. Congrats. It's amazing. You're awesome in that film. But I was wondering while watching the movie, the action sequences are incredible. How do you prepare physically when you're going to shoot a movie like this?
So that's a common question. Everyone wants to know, like, what was the secret in your training to prepare for this role? The secret is I don't change my training at all. If you look at my 20-year existence in the WWE, I pretty much look the same through 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's because I didn't train for WrestleMania alone. I trained to exist. I trained for a overall health and wellness. So when I don't have to think about what I'm training for, I can put my resources into being the best character. And that really helped me exponentially in WWE. When I don't have to think about my training protocol, I can run down that ramp like a crazed dog and just enjoy the moment and enjoy people around me and not care about how I look. How I look is an added or sometimes a negative asset on screen, but I don't think about it. So it's one less thing that I have to worry about, and I can concentrate my efforts more on where they need to be improved, and that's, diving into the material and making the character stronger. So that,
John,
fortunately for me, because Fast has so much action,
yeah,
I'm good there.
absolutely.
No doubt.
John, you're actually a perfect piece to this F9, this Fast and the Furious franchise puzzle, because you've got a strong affinity for muscle cars, actually. If you were to invite Ahora, Nunca, Mauricio and I into your garage, what kind of cars would we see, and which is your favorite?
So don't leave it at just muscle cars. That is I've been a fan of cars for a long time, and when I was awarded some fortunate resources in the beginning of my career, I kind of gravitated towards the cars I enjoyed as a teen, which were old American cars from the 60s and 70s. I love all cars now. I have a brand new 2021 Civic R-Type that I absolutely love. I also have an old Lotus Europa that I barely fit in that I really, really love. I have a 49 MG TC. I have some hand-built one-offs. Like, I appreciate and enjoy everything. I really, really do.
For all the things that you do, you act, you're also a TV show host, you're a producer, you do voiceovers, you're a wrestler. What's the one you enjoy most?
Oh, I think the menu, as you put it, is so versatile because they all share the same nucleus: entertaining.
Yeah.
And there's not a more versatile performing element than WWE. In the WWE, you are a host, an MC, a roaster, a performer, a stuntman, a winner, a loser. Like, you're everything. You're the champion. You're the worst. Like, you go through all of those roles, and it's entertaining. So I think that's why you see so much, is because I love to entertain people, and I'm not stopping myself like, oh, I'd never host. No, it sounds like fun. Of course I will. So instead of saying I would never, I continue to challenge myself about, like, man, all right, this is going to be different, but let's try it.
John, is it safe to assume you're an avid Boston sports fan? You grew up around the area. Are those the teams you cheer for?
I'm surprised I'm let back in New England. I am a sports fan, certainly not as dedicated as I should be, especially being from New England. I have an affinity for the Patriots because I do appreciate how they run their organization and their ability to win over such a long period of time. But I also love Tom Brady, and I think his ability to win over a long period of time has been spectacular, and what he did in Tampa this year was amazing. I look forward to what he's doing in next year. I also may or may not be from the Tampa area as well, so that bodes pretty well for geography.
Yes,
I don't know. As an entertainer, I appreciate excellence in field. So anytime I see consistent excellence in sport, I admire it.
You have many fellow wrestlers that have also transitioned into the show business and movies and TV shows. Of all this pool of great athletes and wrestlers, who do you think is the better actor?
Oh, well, that's such an interpretive question. I really appreciate the fact that the work that everybody's done. I think Dave Bautista has done tremendous strides to recraft himself as someone who invests in dramatic and introspective roles. I think he's amazing. I think Dwayne's path to success, like I said, there's all of us. It's like that comment about Michael Jordan. It's like there's all of us, and then there's Michael Jordan who just comes down to visit us for game day. That's kind of Dwayne. And then you had mentioned that, I've opened myself up to different avenues and different opportunities, and anyone who is willing to take a chance on any WWE performer, I feel will be rewarded. Because when you invest in a WWE superstar, and this is beginning to show time and time again with people like Dwayne, with people like Dave, the opportunities I've been fortunate enough to get, you see how versatile they are. Now, yes, they do need some training away from that live performance where you're like, person up in 312, you need to see what I'm doing. But if you're willing enough to help them and guide them, and they're willing enough to put the time in, you really do have a strong core to start from. And I really think WWE superstars are some of the most talented people around.
Well, you've done an amazing job. It's been awesome talking to you. We're big fans of you, and we love the movie. Everybody go check it out, June 25, F9. John Cena, muchas gracias. Thank you very much for taking the time, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Gracias, John.